Hi, so this is the assignment that we are supposed to complete for our session 1. The idea is to demonstrate wipe coding, and I used cursor to generate the code. We can see the entire code base has been generated, and the prompt is not given in a regular fashion, but rather I gave a specific detailed product requirement document which helped in generating the code base that matches my specific requirement. So it's a markdown readme file that you can see, but the input was a product requirement document which was given in a similar markdown file format. So there's a companion guide as well. This would be uploaded in GitHub. Most importantly, this would continue to be updated with more and more features added as we progress towards the next assignment. But essentially what this application does is it takes an input of a sequence of an amino acid, protein. So let's run this and see. Okay, so this is already running, and it's available on my local host. So let me just load it. So you can see this is up and running on the local host. So technically I just created a prompt that helps us visualize how a specific protein sequence, when given as an input, is used to detect specific repeated patterns of groups of amino acids. It depends on the size of the kernel. If you would want 3 amino acids or 4 or 5 depending on the context, we could define. But let's see how the input can be given here. You have 3 options. One, I can load a specific preset example, or I can provide a UniProt ID which is accessible from UniProt database, or I can paste the raw sequence directly here, or I can upload the FASTA file from my local machine. So let's just take the example of what is already available here. So this protein is a kinase specific protein, and then once I load it, the sequence is loaded here. It gives a quick description of or the summary of the protein along with its sequence of amino acids. So technically it has already performed the analysis, but I'll help you visualize how the animation looks. So the kernel width is set to 3, which means the kmer, or the number of characters or amino acids it is going to use in the kernel, is set to 3. Then I'll simulate this to check how it looks. So this is a similar animation that we have seen during our training, where instead of a one-dimensional sequence you have seen an image, and the kernel keeps sliding depending on the number that is used. So here we have used kernel size 3, so it scans for 3 amino acids at a time, and then I can visualize how the weights are being changed. So this is just a visualization, but since this is not a completely developed application, I could see that the results are already provided the moment I have loaded this sequence, the protein sequence. So work is in progress, but the purpose of assignment 1 is to demonstrate that we can effectively specify the requirements in the form of wipe coding, and we have our code gen tools that are capable of providing an output. Thank you.